Welcome to Moms on a Mission, session 3, technically, the D&D campaign. We're going to start off by introducing our players. I'm your DM, Madison. Lucci.
Hi, I'm Luciana. I'm going to be playing Dr. Margaret Alhari.
Sol.
Hello, I'm going to be playing Sylver Oakspine.
Ezra.
I'm Ezra, and I'm going to be playing Karlotta Marex.
Maddie.
I'm Maddie, and I'm going to be playing Eliza Sparks.
Pearl.
Hi, I'm Pearl, and I'm going to be playing Fenrith Delmeyer.
And last but not least, Ani.
Hi, I'm Ani, and I'm going to be playing Illiawen Moonbrook.
Hell yeah. Great. So just a quick recap of what happened last week. The moms were composing themselves after losing their children and having, other than that, pretty victorious fight against a bunch of half-orcs and a hooded woman who did happen to get away. They then found themselves going to the train station and fighting a bunch of elementals, but in a very fun turn of events, fighting the elementals became a lot easier with a quick dispel magic. Once the elementals were dispelled, they figured out that the Tabaxi train station operator had been charmed by an unknown hooded figure hours before they even showed up. On the Tabaxi woman, they found a love letter, a slip of paper, a second letter that was more plain, a box of cameras that had been ripped out of the train station, and a velvet bag with some money in it. After defeating their enemies at the train station, they went their separate ways, and some had heartfelt, emotional moments with family, some went to work, and others happened to get smited by their deities.
Just Karlotta things.
Just Karlotta things.
Just Karlotta things.
Oops.
Moving
Just
on.
religion things.
Moving on from last session, we opened back up, and we are now back in the town of Castlebrook. Is there anything anyone wants to do first? I know that Maggie is at work at the hospital. Illiawen, did you end up going home from the hospital last night, or did you stay with your sister? Do you remember / no?
I stayed for a little while after visiting my sister, but I definitely left before my dad could arrive. So.
Very fun. Let's start with Maggie at the hospital. You just got back from this fight. You are sitting in your office, looking over some paperwork, maybe getting ready for another surgery, when a nurse comes in. He knocks on your door before entering. Hey, this letter came for you earlier. It was brought by a mail carrier or whatever, but they didn't say anything. They just kind of dropped it off. And he hands you a letter that is addressed to you.
Okay. It doesn't have, I assume it doesn't have, a return address or anything on it, right?
Right. It's just it just has your name and the hospital's address. No, no sender or anything like that.
Well, that's illegal with U.S. postal regulations, but, yeah, I'll open it.
Great. Inside this letter, you read it, and it says to Margaret Alhari, Dr. Margaret Alhari. And it says some basic things like, how are you? I hope you're well, blah, blah, blah. Mentions the kids. And then in the very last paragraph, it says, I know that you're going through a lot, especially with the kids being missing. I may know someone who might be able to help you out. Meet tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. in the woods. No signature left on the bottom.
That's interesting. And the rest is just fluff?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't think there's like anything I can do to. I mean, can I cast detect magic on it to see if there's any like I don't know any other things?
You cast detect magic on the paper, or is that something that just works in like a certain range? Do you know?
I sense the magical presence within 30 feet of me.
Great.
So, in my office as well.
Your normal things that are like cleric style healing objects, they kind of, you recognize those. You notice on the envelope of the letter that there's some disappearing ink. Not only is it addressed to you and to the hospital, but on the line where all of the names would be, you find the name of each of the other mothers written in disappearing ink.
Ooh. Okay. Right. Then yeah, I think right now Maggie's still just really not in a place to immediately jump into action. I think she's gonna instead be like this. This seems like something to deal with tomorrow morning. Right now, I made a promise to Kane that I would work and I would pray. And she sets it aside and does surgery. Just to work.
Great. While you're sitting at your office thinking about like your promise to Kane and your other worldly duties, you start thinking about the past and specifically when you were blessed for the first time. You kind of look on your desk and there's like a candle with the crest of Cain like stamped onto the side. And as you're looking into the candle, you're like taken back. And you see yourself and Melissa, your ex-wife, standing in the middle of a temple of Cain. You both had just finished praying to not only Cain but to Harmonia, and you remember a figure coming out of a mist of snow and clouds and fog and stuff like that, and a man reaching out to touch your hand. And you remember this cold filling your body in a way that cold doesn't feel. It was almost like a warmth. And you felt your heart warm to the warmest it would ever be, even at your wedding day. And you remember in that moment knowing that you were blessed and that you were loved and that you were going to have a set of twins. The man didn't speak to you, but you knew who it was. You knew it was Cain, and you knew that he was going to be watching over not only you, but your daughters and however many offspring he decides to bless you with for the rest of your lives.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry.
Great. And that memory fills you with not only like the sadness of thinking about your children and your ex-wife, but the warmth of just knowing that you, although are going through a hard time, are still being looked over and loved by someone above. We now head over to the Oak Spine home. Sylver, what are you doing now that you just had this victory at the train station, but maybe not the best return home since it's empty?
Okay. Well, once more, I returned to an empty home for the first time in 14 years. So, I'm an elf. I only need to transfer 4 hours. So I do pull out the bong once more and self-medicate so that I don't have to think about my missing daughter. And then after that, I go to bed. After I wake up, Sylver goes to her closet and she pulls out a couple of old pieces of paper. They're at this point decades old, and they're all letters that she never responded to. And underneath all of the old papers, she has clean paper, and she begins to write a letter to her parents about what has happened.
As you're sitting there and you're, I assume, writing about your daughter and how everything has just been so hectic the last few days and so just sad.
I do not address the many unanswered letters. I only talk about what just happened, like these past 2 days.
Great. While you're sitting and writing and reflecting the past 2 days, you maybe find yourself looking for a warmer time. Maybe just a time when Ivy was home. And you remember the time, or the day rather, that you brought Ivy home from the adoption center. It was a warm summer day in the middle of June, quite like it is now. The sun was out, it was very early in the morning, and you can just see yourself younger. Doesn't look too much younger since, elves don't quite age. Walking home from an adoption center not too far from where you live, with just a pink bundle of blankets in your arms. And you're filled with a light that you haven't seen since Ivy's gone, even though she is a bit sad or rebellious at times. And you remember looking down into these bundles and seeing the face of your daughter and knowing that she was your daughter, and that she was just for you, even if she wasn't biologically from you. And as you're writing this letter to people you haven't spoken to in decades, maybe even 100 years, thinking and reflecting and memories of your daughter just flush back to you.
Yeah, I also cry.
Great. Would you like to do anything else?
Well, I finish up the letter and I use Ritual Cast Animal Messenger to send it to my mom.
Right.
So that's taken care of. And then I guess I'll set up the greenhouse. I'll go out and set up the fortune telling booth.
Going back to work.
Yes.
Amazing. We're going to head out and to the Delmeyer apartment. Fenrith, what are you doing now that you took a lot of damage and were still standing there last night? How are you dealing with the loss of your kids? You come home and immediately there is, colored pictures on the walls, photos. There's a jacket left on the floor, shoes astrew everywhere, in the entryway. But I don't think that matters to you as much anymore since the kids have been missing.
Yeah, I think I get home and I'm just so exhausted because I have just physically been through a lot, and I think I kind of like pick up the jacket that's left on the floor and I'm just kind of holding it, and I kind of wandered towards the kitchen a little bit because I have the instinct to stress bake, but then I'm just like, no, I'm too tired, and I think I kind of just collapsed into bed, and I'm still like holding Marin's jacket, and I think I also cry a little bit. All of the like stress and exhaustion, I think, is just kind of catching up with me.
Understandable. The next morning, you wake up to an empty bed, as you have for maybe the last 2 years. And as you're staring at the empty side of your bed, you reflect on that, and as you get out of bed and head off to the kitchen, I assume, or to the bakery, you pass through your kitchen and again see like some stickers that the kids have, put on the fridge even without your permission. And one catches your eye as being like a Superman sticker, so it's like a Z inside of this red and blue diamond, and you remember it being a sticker that you bought for your son Bram the first time you took him to the movie theater to see a Superman movie. Specifically, I don't even remember what that movie is called.
Man of Steel.
Yes, thank you.
That was exactly what
I was looking for that, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
And you can almost see yourself there. It was about 2 years ago. It was a rainy night, perfect night to go see a movie, honestly. Your son was a bit younger, but you get popcorn and candy and drinks, and he begged and begged for that sticker. So you just, rolled your eyes, paid the 2 gold coins, bought him the sticker. You knew that it was going to end up somewhere it shouldn't be, and you're never going to get it off, but you said, fine. Gold coins in this world work as dollars here, not as $100, just to clarify.
It wasn't a $200 sticker.
Yeah, I saw that and was like, ugh. It just makes it a little easier for my very small brain. So you remember this, and you remember coming out of that movie and getting the worst call you've ever gotten in your life. You walk out of the movie theater, you have 13 missed calls. It was late at night, but not too late. It was only about 9:30, 10 o'clock when you came out. So, of course, you called back the unknown caller from your phone, and not much is said on the phone except that Amelie was in very critical condition after something went wrong with her vehicle, and that you should get to the hospital quickly. You remember taking your son to a sitter, or dropping him off with his sister, who was also at a babysitter, since your wife at the time, Amelie, was at work and was on her way home when whatever happened. And you remember running into the hospital. You were soaking wet, clothes sticking to your scaly body, and just the feel of panic going through your soul. But that was the past. You now find yourself in a kitchen, stress baking, I assume.
Yeah. I think I started pulling out like flour and sugar without even realizing it. I'm like half dissociating.
Amazing. And as you begin to bake whatever goodie you are about to make, we are going to head over to Poppy Circle Apartments, specifically a penthouse, where Illiawen, you find yourself passed out in a bed, thrown in willy-nilly with the emotional weight of the meeting with your sister still lying on your chest.
Yeah, I feel terrible. First thing I do, I wake up, I get out of bed, I find drunk glass of wine that I had started on last night and probably passed out before I finished. And I start drinking, and I feel terrible. I don't know what to do because I can't call my dad. So I think I just sit and stare out the window while drinking, trying to figure out what to do with my life.
So you went home after being hammered and continued to drink?
Yeah.
Great. Can I get a constitution check, please? With disadvantage?
I'm so good at this. That's a 8. Nope, that's a 6, actually.
You wake up still drunk, and stumble through your home with a glass of wine. You're now sitting and looking out a window, onto the streets. Can I get an intelligence check, please? Just any intelligence-based check works for you.
19.
Great. As you're sitting there drunk, sitting on the windowsill of your penthouse, you remember the first night you came to Castlebrook. Um, you remember going to a club, maybe outside of town, and meeting this gorgeous elf. You couldn't really tell if she was a high elf or what elf. She had the looks of a high elf, but maybe some dark roots, which are strange. Her clothing looked off on her just a tad bit, but you flirted with her and she flirted back. You both got a little too drunk that night and took a juber to your brand new penthouse. You then remember the rest of that night and waking up to an empty bed in the morning, half naked and hungover. An 18 intelligence check?
19.
19. Great. Yeah, you recognize the woman you hooked up with now as the head of the PTA, Juniper.
I definitely stare into my wine glass and just kind of like mutter to myself, like, oh, so that's why she knew where I lived. It's very strange for her to leave a note on my car, especially since, as far as I knew, I didn't know her. But I guess I really should make better decisions on who I bring home. This is a very small town.
It is a very small town. You also, as you're sitting on the windowsill, remember the event of the town a few years ago, maybe a decade or so now, when your sister got married. It was all the town could talk about. It was a giant move politically. It was a giant move socially for your family. And as you're sitting there, drinking your wine, looking out this window, pretty blank at this point, now that you have remembered who you've slept with, a thought comes back to you from the wedding. You remember yourself in a maid of honor's gown, helping your sister get married, or helping your sister get ready for her wedding, fluffing her dress, fixing the flowers, doing her makeup a little bit better than the makeup artist could do, just because you're more familiar with your sister. You could kind of get into her face and not like be weirded out. But you you see your sister walking down the aisle, and you see her and her husband dancing on the dance floor. A dirty look from your father. You don't have any solid memories of this night, this day, anything. You remember getting wasted tonight or that night, as to not have to deal with anyone in your family except your sister. But you do remember speaking to your father at the bar as you order yet another glass of wine. Your father comes up to you very stoically. He's dressed to the nine, hair perfect, suit perfect. You haven't spoken to him in a very long time. Do you remember your father approaching you at this bar? Yes. My youngest daughter. How has it been traveling so far for so long?
I kind of like, normally at these events, I kind of like slouch and just kind of look very relaxed. But I think my dad comes over and I immediately stand up to my full 5'10", 6'1" in the heels that I'm wearing. And I kind of just like look at him and I'm like, it's going fine. I like to travel, you know, I tend to get bored in one place with one type of people.
As you say that, you see a half orc woman from across the bar kind of wink at you as she notices you talking about liking to be around other people and traveling. You know, she's not listening to the emotional tone of the conversation that you are having. She's just listening to the keywords. But she winks at you and A second glass of wine is placed in front of you, and it's pretty obvious that she's bought it for you. Your father kind of regards that interaction and what you say, and he's like, I see. Well, I assume that I cannot get you to marry for power as well, as you have not had a steady partner in what I can remember your whole life. And he kind of looks you up and down, eye contact with you, curtly turns around, and storms away.
I definitely yell after him, not caring that he's going to be mortified. I think I yell even a little louder because I think it will embarrass him. And I say, I'm sorry we can't all be perfect, Daddy, but I promise you that I'm having so much fun. And then I go walk over to the half-orc.
Your father turns the shade of cherry red you have never seen him turn before, whips around, and goes to cast a cantrip at you. But because this wedding venue was so expensive, you are not able to, there is just something in this venue that is making it unable for him to deal damage to you in this moment. And he storms away, presumably leaving the wedding.
I raise my wine glass and I yell, to the happy couple.
Your sister, who has been watching this from her table the entire time, gives you the death glare of the century.
I keep things interesting. There's that.
You now are back in the windowsill, staring off into nowhere, drinking your wine, and remembering that your sister's wedding was a shit show. And now your sister's children are gone. Let's kick it over to Karlotta. Hard pivot on that one. Karlotta, you last night had a very interesting time. After this fight, you just fuck you, to Harmonia, and she said it back in a very pointed way. Like, it wasn't subtle at all. And then you went to go fight crime. Do you have anything that you'd like to do while out on the street?
Honestly, I think it would not have been the most intense because I was pretty injured. But I just walked around. It was mostly just wandering around the city, I think, trying to get my bearings again.
Great. While you're walking down this street looking to see if there are any kids in need, it's pouring outside still, thunder, lightning. The rain is piercing cold as you're just looking. The street lights are, kind of flickery. You're in downtown. Downtown Castlebrook, kind of sketchy. Other than the Church of Harmonia, there are the Royal Gem apartments with the sign that flickers. They look kind of run down. Freezy Point, you're just looking to make sure that there are no kids in need right now. And while you're walking and, you are, I'm sure, heavily reflecting on the fact that your goddess just smited you or smote you pretty aggressively. Yeah. You remember the day you were chosen. It was pretty cold. Smote is a good word. It was a cold day at the nunnery. It was a normal day, you assumed. You woke up early, started on your chores. But as the day wore on, you noticed a glow kind of coming off of your hands from your weapon that you were using to train yourself with. And by the end of the day, at prayer, you found yourself fully glowing. Not just your hands, not just your weapons. Your whole body was just illuminated. There was a warmth in your chest that hadn't been there before. like a light, like I said, almost an orangey glow to you. And as the priest in the front of the church started to pray and the nuns began to pray, you began to levitate out of the pew. You felt yourself rise from your seat unwillingly, and you were about 2 feet off the ground by the time that everyone realized that you weren't sitting down. You found yourself very young, being chosen by Harmonia, and knowing that from then on you need to be training. You can't be doing chores. Even the nuns recognized this. You were not really allowed, like, speaking, like, you couldn't speak to most other students or children at the home just because of, like, how you needed to be training all of the time and how you needed to be reading up on and doing research on Harmonia and the ways of the paladins of Harmonia. And you just remember feeling so much more outcasted than you ever had at this nunnery when you had been chosen and something amazing had happened to you. And as you're walking down the street, you feel the same way. You had been singled out by Harmonia after losing almost everything. Your children are gone. You've taken an insane amount of damage. And here you are again, just trying to find something that you can pour yourself into instead of pouring yourself onto yourself and helping you feel better, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Karlotta is, wandering around, and when she starts thinking about these things, she feels, I think there's she can feel the lightning scar in her back burning again, but not because of her goddess, just because of herself. So she eventually just walks home in silence. She gives up.
As you walk home, you pass the Temple of Harmonia. Inside, you know that there is a statue of the goddess. And through the columns of the temple, you see the statue almost glowing as the storm rages on. If you'd like to do a religion check, you can.
Sure. That's a natural 18, so that's 20.
You ever just get sad? Great. Natural 18, mod 20. You see the statue casting a glow very similar to something that you felt on yourself all those years ago. And the storm is continuing to rage on, and you know that it's Harmonia fighting with the other goddesses, but specifically, if I can find the right tab, but specifically with Eva, and whatever you uncovered about Agnesa is definitely egging on these two goddesses in their fight right now. As you get home, you enter your house, your 2 cats and your dog all come to greet you, your dog barking very high-pitched, a little bit annoying, but you love him. And
before I leave, from across the street from the temple, could I just try casting just bless on myself?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just do that to feel my divine magic.
Great. You cast blessed on yourself, and you gain 4 hit points.
Yes. Okay.
And you can feel that Harmonia is not trying to apologize, but definitely trying to let you know that you are heard and seen.
That makes me feel a bit better, but I'm still kind of angry. So yeah, I walk home.
Great. You enter your house. The dogs and the cats all greet you before you see Scruffy run off to continue chewing on your daughter's shoe.
Aww. I'd gently take it away, give Scruffy some food, and then bring the shoe into my bed with me.
Ow. You climb into your bed, and immediately you put down the shoe. You notice that your daughter's teddy bear is in the bed with you because she is young enough to where she doesn't want to sleep in her own bed still. She wants to sleep with you, and you have allowed her to. But as you lay in your bed, you are just so exhausted. mentally, emotionally, physically. And we're going to head over to, finally, last but not least, I assume, the Sparks home and bookstore. Eliza.
Yes.
After this fight, you find yourself at home. Your father is still awake. He's in the bookstore. Give me a perception check.
Ooh, okay. I'm bad at that. Well, not bad. Let me get my 7.
Great. You head on upstairs to your bedroom, and as you're walking you're walking down the hallway to get to the master, and you notice that your son's bedroom door is still open. You peek in, and you see all of the little decorations. Your son has been into space lately. So, glow-in-the-dark stars, space-themed bed coverings. You have one of those night lights that you, project onto the ceiling. It's all too cute. You close the door to your son's room and head into your own. You're in your bedroom, I assume getting ready for bed. And as you're looking through one of your drawers, you find a gold-plated photo album.
Yeah.
Would you like to look through this photo album?
Yes, I do.
You crack open this photo album, and on the front, engraved, is just the letters E and F in a very nice cursive engraving. You open up this photo album, and this is your wedding photos.
Jeez.
And you notice that as you flip through, photos have been taken out. You can assume that your children have been putting their grubby hands on these pictures to take them out and have for themselves. There are a bit of fingerprints on the outside of the gold that are very reminiscent of your two children.
Yeah.
But as you get to the end, you notice that, or you remember more, that you never finished filling out this photo album because the photos came in a little late, and then you and your husband got busy. You had 2 children together, and by the time you found extra time, you were opening a bookstore, and then, push came to shove, and then you remember a stormy night. It was, late fall, rain is pretty heavy, but there wasn't any lightning or thunder, and it wasn't raining as hard as it is tonight. But you remember your husband coming home a little late. Finn was a very punctual man, but past few months, he's been coming home late, coming home drunk. It's just not been the best, and you guys have had these changing schedules for your entire marriage, but things have just been not as great, and you can feel it, and you know that tonight is the night. As he stumbles in, your father has tucked in the children as you sat downstairs and waited for him. He comes into the house, doesn't look disheveled in any way, but you can smell as he's opening the door and walking into the kitchen that he has been hitting the bar. Or at least tonight he had been. He kind of walks in. What are you waiting for? Why are you still up? Where are the kids?
I was waiting for you. Where were you this time?
You act like I'm out all the time, Eliza.
You are.
Stop that. Don't even act like I'm the bad guy in this situation. You're the one that's waiting up on me.
How does that make me a bad guy?
I never said you were a bad guy. I'm just saying that I'm not the bad guy. No. Don't do this again. Not with the implications. Implications are never good, Eliza. You know this. I know this.
The world... I don't want to talk to you right now.
Talk to me. You don't want to talk to me. Why is that, Eliza?
You... Don't. Just don't. I don't want to talk to you.
Well, I think we need to talk. And he...
What about?
He pulls out his briefcase, and a packet of papers are now in his hands.
Whoa.
He extends them to you. Eliza, I think we need to talk about this. He sets the manila folder on the counter, and he makes, like, direct eye contact with you, and you are immediately transported to every time you and your husband have made eye contact. The first time you met, your first date, the proposal, the wedding, your first child being born, etc. And then you remember the last couple of times you've made eye contact. Yelling, glasses breaking, just the most cold memories coming back to you. And as your husband is now, like, putting through, and he's like, I'm not meaning this in a rude way. I think that we should still be friends. I just don't think that this is working out. And he slides the papers towards you.
Well, yeah, is it in still the folder?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I open it. I know what they are, but...
You open the folder to see divorce papers.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean you don't mean this in a rude way?
Well, I'm just not trying to be rude, Eliza. I think that we should still be friends. I just don't think that we're, we aren't. And he sighs. He goes, this obviously not working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't understand why did you do this after coming home drunk? You can't have, like, a normal conversation with me, ever?
Kind of rolls his eyes at you, and he's like, I don't know what you want me to say. And you notice, give me a perception check.
Okay.
With advantage.
Oh, yay. Oh. 9. Damn it.
That's the highest?
Yeah, that's the highest. I got a 4 and an 8.
Eliza. You...
Oh my god.
9. Shit.
I can re-roll it.
No, that's not how that works. God, with
she's getting divorced. Give her triple advantage.
Can I give Eliza from the past my portrait roll?
No.
She's getting served. Have some compassion.
I gave her advantage.
And she rolled bad and now must deal with it.
Yeah. Great. You are...
Come on, there's got to be something, like, above a 5 DC.
Okay. DC 5, you can smell alcohol on his breath.
Great.
So you're staring at your your husband at the time. He's just served you these divorce papers, and you're asking him why he can't have a normal conversation with you. And he, slams his fist down on the table. He goes, I don't see how you don't get it, Eliza. And then he unties his tie, and you notice at this point that the side of his shirt, like on one shoulder, is stained with water.
I'm
bitch.
He came in with an umbrella.
What's that? I point at it.
I'm gonna die tonight. What's that? And he kind of, like, regards the, like, stain on his shoulder, and he's like, this is what I'm talking about, Eliza. I've been cheating on you for months, and you haven't noticed. And
that's my fault. Really, for thinking that maybe I could, like, have a marriage, like, and that makes me stupid.
His brows are now, like, furrowed. He's pissed. He's like, you know what? I don't even want to talk to you tonight.
Okay, get out of my house then.
Yeah, he packs up, like, an overnight bag in his he, like, puts clothes into his briefcase. He doesn't pack a second bag. And
you're gonna need more than a one-night bag, buddy.
And storms out. You remember the sound of your door slamming, and that sound snaps you back to reality as you're staring at this wedding photo book.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna close it. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Great. You put the photos back. You can hear your father coming in from the bookstore. you can, like, you almost notice that the lights in your house are being turned off, as you guys now prepare for bed, the storm continuing to rage on. The next morning arrives. Does anyone want to do anything? I know we went over some next mornings, for some. How is the rest of the gang feeling today?
Bad. Capital B, bad.
Awful. Pretty bad.
In my drunken state, I consider calling Juniper.
You have?
Ani, I swear to God.
Sylver's not there, but know that in her heart she's encouraging this.
I think I sent her a text.
Great.
And it just says,
are you gonna say that hey you up?
It says you up?
Hey, you up in the morning?
Hey, you
just
up?
says-
Call to your emergency contact?
It says, I say, hey Janie, if you're not too busy with Melissa, you should come swing by.
Oh my God.
You get a phone call 20 minutes later from an unknown number.
That's okay.
Hello. Is this Illiawen Moonbrook?
Yes.
You recognize this as not being Juniper.
Who's this?
This is Melissa. I don't know if you remember me from the other night, but hitting on my girlfriend is not something I appreciate. I understand flirting with my ex-wife. I understand that you and Juniper had a past, but texting her, acknowledging that she's in a relationship with me, that's not okay.
You know, I would be more concerned about your missing children than me texting your girlfriend. Have you checked in with Maggie recently?
Can you give me a charisma check?
Oh no.
I'm like negative to the charisma seeing you now.
Oh no. Just okay. Is it just flat charisma? Like what kind of
persuasion.
charisma? Oh, beautiful. I have a +0 to that. That's cocked. That's a 19.
She goes,
Hell yeah.
fine, and hangs up on you. Luciana, you are...
Ani, I'm going to kill you.
I'm literally crying.
You are walking out of the OR as you're...
After a harrowing shift.
After a harrowing shift, you're walking out of this operating room. You just, cleaned up after presumably fixing a bunch of bones in a broken person. And you,
But not a broken heart.
yes. You just got out of the shower and put on your regular clothes. You're about to go home. When your phone starts to ring, it's Melissa.
I pick it up right away. Like, hey Mel, did you find anything?
No, I didn't fucking find anything. Let me tell you, your friends are out of control. If they don't stop hitting on my girlfriend, I'm gonna fucking lose it. So you need to get your friends under control.
What?
I text Melissa.
Wait, what?
Yeah, your little elf friend, Maleficent, Issa, I don't know, whatever her name is, just tried to text Juniper for a booty call.
All due respect, Melissa, I only recently met Illiawen, and this sounds like an issue with the relationship you're currently in, which I'm pretty sure does not include me. And I think that's something you made very clear. So if you're having issues with your girlfriend talking to other women, I should not be the first one you're calling.
Can I get a persuasion check?
Yes. So plus 5 on the dice, plus 2 is going to be 7.
Right. She kind of she goes, well, I'm just calling you because you guys seemed pretty chummy the other night when
the kids went our children disappeared. I was chummy. You saw me crying over our lost children and thought, damn, she looks chummy.
She scoffs again. She's like, whatever, I don't know what to tell you. She looked like she was your friend. She was acting like she was your friend. You were fighting together like she was your friend. And she kind of you can tell that she's aggressively and very angrily shrugging on the other side of the phone. I don't have any problems with my relationship, and hangs up on you. As you're walking now out of the hospital, most likely pretty flustered because your ex-wife just called you for some high school drama bullshit. I'm
immediately calling Illiawen.
Amazing.
Illiawen, what did you do?
You know,
are you still drunk right now?
100%. I haven't stopped drinking. I told you this the day we met.
Fair.
Melissa was so flirty the other night. I just assumed that they were open or whatever, because that truly, who flirts with you like that and then wants to be in a closed relationship? I think your ex is a little weird, if I'm being honest. I mean, truly, if she had asked, it could have been all three of us, but I mean, she seems so.
Thinking about the mother of my children.
Yes.
I know we're not together anymore, and I'm still dealing with that.
Everyone's someone's mother.
I think you mean everyone has a mother. Not everyone is someone's mother.
Same difference.
If you want to mess with Juniper, you have my full permission, though you seem to not need it. I just wanted to know if Melissa maybe called me because she wanted to talk and just decided to hide it behind accusing you, but no.
I fully propositioned her girlfriend. That is something I did.
Interesting.
I mean, what are you doing? Are you at work?
I just got off a 12-hour shift.
You want to have a drink?
I don't drink. But I know I can make tea. I would love some tea. I have some information for maybe us to talk about over tea, with nothing else in it, except for milk, maybe. But I'll swing by.
Perfect. Should I call the others? Or is it just you and me?
I think this would benefit us all, but
we can call them later.
Well, see you soon. I'll probably swing by home first and get cleaned up, but I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Great. You guys get ready, or when you kind of try and straighten up your house as best you can. You have people to come and help put it together, but even then you're living with these two little rambunctious kids that you were never used to having before. So, I mean, you notice jackets on the floor, dolls, maybe some blocks or Legos, because your housekeeper only comes maybe once or twice a week. And as you're like putting out tea and wine, and I'm assuming that you have a pre-made charcuterie board in your home or in your fridge already made, you can
100%.
that out as well.
I think I switched from wine to Irish coffee.
Great. Kind of like fiddle with the coffee machine until it looks like it's kind of working. And you wait for the other moms to arrive.
Oh, I didn't text the other moms.
Oh, great.
If Maggie doesn't text them, I'm not texting them.
Maggie right now is focused on getting out of dirty clothes and just getting into some, like casual, like Maggie's coming over in loungewear, like sweatpants.
Maggie goes home. Your house is pretty put together. Some cereal bowls in the sink, but other than that, fine. You go home, you showered at work. You can change. If you want to text the other moms, you can, or you can wait till you get there and see what is going on with Illiawen.
I think I assume that Illiawen has texted the other moms, and so I don't.
You arrive at Illiawen's house after changing, getting ready in any way that you want to, and it's just you and her. Like, you knock on the door, you like try to get her to buzz you in, and everything is set out, but for two. There's a pretty large array of food, but there's only 2 glasses on the table.
Are the others en route?
I couldn't get a hold of the other moms. I'm not quite sure what that was about. I know they all have jobs or whatever non-rich people have.
I mean, you know that I just came from my job, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But you're a doctor. You work like weird hours or whatever. I don't know.
All right. Well, the information I got a weird letter last night. It got brought to my office, and they want us to meet in the forest at 9:30 tonight, I assume. Because now it's the day. Or in the woods. Yeah, I have a feeling it's probably a setup again. So and then it had all our names on it. So,
That is really weird. Where are my manners? Sit, eat, drink, whatever. There's tea. I had someone make it.
Thank you. I have some tea. Is it any good?
Ani, did you actually have someone make this tea, or?
100%. I don't know how to work anything in my house.
Okay, so it's probably good.
It's good.
Oh, this is delicious. Thank you.
Illiawen, can I get another Constitution saving throw, please?
Yeah, you sure can. Saving throw or check?
This one's a saving throw.
Okay. That's a 4.
Hell yeah. You are drunk enough to call the other moms. I mean, you remember Sylver being kind of cute. She gave you that bottle of whatever it was that got you even more drunk. And I mean, the other moms didn't seem too bad. Karlotta seemed kind of like a hard ass, but that's cool too. I mean, might as well,
Also, I'm pretty sure Sylver is runs her own business, So
yeah, she said
probably
she was busy. I mean, I can call Sylver. I know running your own business, the hours are flexible. I can do that. I call Sylver and or I text Sylver and Karlotta specifically.
Now that we're talking about it, I think all our friends are either unemployed or run their own businesses. So
I do believe.
Honest, I don't pay much attention to what you guys do for a living. I mean, it's like cool to have like hobbies, but truly having to go into work every day, disgusting. The text that I send, Sylver and Karlotta, I'm pretty sure I make it a group text. I just say like, I just say, do you want to come over with a winky face?
What do you say?
Do you want to come over with a winky face?
With a wink.
I think I'm gonna create a separate.
But it's a group text.
So Illiwen is distracted that has everyone but Illiwen. Just says, I have important info. Come to Illiwen's house. Don't drink.
Don't
back. Why isn't Illiwen in this group chat?
And I go, for her own good.
Great.
Sylver doesn't see the text for 20 minutes because she has her phone off when she's at work. After she sees it, she walks. She walks to the house. No shoes, can't drive.
She doesn't even like text anyone.
No, she just. Texts don't have red, but imagine that she left you all on red.
Incredible. Oh my god, I love you, Sylver.
How's Illiwen taking these messages? Or Fenrith?
I just drive there like a normal person.
Fenrith, how are you dealing with these text messages?
I think I get the message and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll go, but I forget to text back until I'm like on the way there, and then while I'm like almost there, I'm like stopped at a red light, and I'm like, I like text back, oh yeah, I'm like 5 minutes away.
I live like very close to her house actually, so I'm probably there pretty quickly.
Yeah. And Karlotta, do you go, or do you look at these messages, the winky face is staring at you?
Yeah, Karlotta does not have the best text etiquette. She sends all right with a period. Capitalized. Oh, this is the drunk Illiwen message, not the other one.
To the drunk Illiwen text.
Yeah.
When Sylver is outside of the penthouse, she just sends a 4-leaf clover emoji.
I definitely text in the group chat. I say, they were right. You are kind of hard.
You're not in the group chat.
No, the one with Sylver and Karlotta.
Ah.
Karlotta doesn't respond.
You all convene inside of Illiwen's dining room. Like I said, there's food, wine, tea, coffee, what have you. Margaret, you have some info.
I do. Hello, folks. Glad you're all here. Please have some tea. Don't drink the coffee.
This is my house.
Did you welcome them?
Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you can make it with your jobs and such.
Yes.
You say it like it's a foreign word.
Yeah, I think it is.
I've never had a job. Why would I need a job? I have money.
I also have money, and I still have a job.
Well, oftentimes you get the money from the job.
Oh,
I got some of my money from my dad's job, so...
Anyways.
I take out my black card and I say, no, my money comes from this.
That's not how money works.
It's just, she's right. It comes from the card.
Remember how all our Sylvers are missing?
Mm-hmm.
I start crying.
There we go. That's it. That's what we're looking for. So all our children missing. I get a note last night at work that says they want me to meet them at 9:30 in the woods today. It's probably a setup again. I would not say no to a little augury telling us if this is a setup again or not. But I mean, I'm going because, again, I want my kids back.
I mean, you said all of our names were on it, right?
Yeah.
Well, then, presumably we should all go.
Is it like, maybe this is irrelevant now that it's been a while. Was it disappearing ink, like, disappearing ink, or was it like illusory script?
It was like disappearing ink.
Weird.
I mean, it sounds sketchy, but anything that might bring us closer to the kids, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the train station, that was a setup, but we did still find information.
Okay. We have to be there at 9:30?
Yeah.
I will wait until it is 9, and then I can guess augury, because I can do 30 minutes.
It's like 4:30-ish now.
Epic.
Epic.
I drank some tea.
Epic gamer. Yeah, I've probably stopped crying a little bit, and then I'm drinking tea.
Great.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sylver hit it before work, so like it's faded, but it's still there. A little bit.
Can I make a insight check to see if I can tell that Sylver's high?
Yeah, Sylver, if you want to do it.
Yeah, I also want to make
Do I have to? What if I'm not really trying to deceive anyone?
Then, if you roll a 1, you can't tell.
like passive deception.
I rolled an 8, so.
What do I roll?
Deception.
Deception. Oh, that's cocked. A 12.
Great. Illiawen, you cannot tell.
A 13.
A 13.
I got
Yeah.
a 9.
Wait, is this insight?
Yeah.
What is
What?
D&D?
I accidentally closed my sheet.
Oh, we roll an insight check to see if Sylver's high. I'll do one.
I got a 9.
Maggie just
22.
Anything above
yeah,
a
you
12
can
can tell.
Oh, I definitely got above a 12. I got a natural 15. My modifier is like either 1 or 2.
Nice. Yeah, if you rolled above a 12, I think is what Sylver got on deception. You can tell that Sylver is pretty high.
Mm-hmm. Self-medication.
Great.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do anything before heading to...
When it says tomorrow at 9:30, she got it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Margaret got it yesterday? Okay. Cool.
We are in the same room, but I text Sylver personally and ask if she sells what she grows.
I don't text. I look up and answer you. Depends. I could barter.
I'll get back to you on that. I say that out loud also.
What are we bartering?
Plants.
What kind of plants?
The kind that you put up your nose. What else? Plants that you put up your nose.
I forgot that Sylver snorted this stuff.
I forgot that too.
Me too.
Great.
Anyways.
Do you guys want to do anything before 8 o'clock rolls around and you have to start heading over and getting
I
ready?
pull out seeds of like fantasy cannabis, and with Druidcraft, I grow it, and I hand them to Eliza.
Actually, Maggie's gonna try snatch those
Real quick.
Do you want me to roll sleight of hand? Because I will.
You can take it if you want. She's high. She's just holding it out.
Roll sleight of hand with advantage.
Jesus.
Fantasy cannabis, or fanabis, if you will.
That's a mod 20.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you get it.
Hey.
I'd be like, all right, folks. I'm not necessarily against this for medical purposes, of course, but I think we should at least attempt to arrive to this thing at least vaguely clear-headed.
Who says I was gonna use it now? It could be medicinal. You don't know me.
Is it? Were you?
Do an insight check.
Listen. Maggie. Self-medication. Very good. Very good.
I got 14 on my insight.
Maddie, does your character use fan cannabis as for medication?
Cannabis?
I can't believe.
I mean, I don't right now.
Great.
I never, but it's because I didn't have access to it.
Also, if anyone needs, medical assistance, I'm a doctor. I know Wayne thinks this is just my hobby. I went to school for 12 years for this.
Okay, well then do you want to get
You're very invested. It's a very invested hobby. Is that not what a job is?
I've been growing cannabis for almost a century. I'm very experienced.
We already have 2 members inebriated. I'd love to keep it down, at least until this whole thing is over. I'll remind you again, last time we did this, full trap, full setup.
I burst into tears, remembering that after the fight, I had to go talk to my sister.
I just hug Illy and start rubbing circles into her back.
I try to sleight of hand the cannabis away from Maggie.
Great.
with your +1 dexterity.
Yeah. What about it? Should I roll?
I would like you to
if you
try.
want to.
Oh.
You literally cannot unless you roll a nat 20.
Well, it was a 9, so
Great.
I did it.
Mm-hmm.
You notice Eliza trying to grab at the weed.
Not in a rude way, just
No, yeah, she's making very clear grabby hands at it.
Yeah.
Grabby hands.
Eliza?
I don't even
You have something to say?
I just hold them up and I do this at your face.
Spare cannabis, ma'am.
Spare cannabis, I have so much.
No!
I got the remedies. I have some seeds in my pockets, and I have some in my garden.
I'm fully sobbing on the couch, and I'm like, she didn't
I open up my notes app and I just write Sylver Garden.
Great. It's about time for you guys or you get the feeling that it's about time for you guys to start heading over.
Wait, is Illiawen just sobbing on her couch for 5 hours?
If you want her to be.
I definitely sobbed for at least an hour, and then I took a short nap, and then I woke up from my nap, and I was like, why are you all still in my home? And then I go back to sleep until it's time to leave.
Are you hungover now, or are you still drunk?
I don't know. I got a 4 of my con save. So.
Oh, she's still drunk. 4 on a con save?
Madison, in this little time, can I do sending? I remembered to stock it today.
Yes. You get 25 words.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying? And who are you sending to?
Oh, shit.
I'm going to send to Lizzie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to count right now real quick. Honey, are you okay? Please tell me where you are or any other information. I love you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Stay safe.
Great.
That should be 23.
You have 2 other words, yeah.
Love, Mom.
Very cute. You send that off. I'm going to roll a luck check to see how long this will take to get a response. Okay. Great. You guys get the feeling that it's about 8:30-ish. You have an hour before whatever happens in the forest happens.
Did the letter specify where in the forest, and would I know where it is? Would Sylver know?
Sylver, if you want to look at this letter and do an insight check, you are friends with most of the druids and the wood elves that live in the forest, yeah.
Yes, of course I am. I'm their dealer. That is, what's my insight? Plus 725.
Great.
Jeez.
Give me
Not 18.
7 insight. Oh, me.
Give me just a second, please. Yeah, so you are looking at this letter, and this script is pretty familiar. You get letters from people from the forest all the time. You remember specifically this type of, like, this weird, it's kind of like scratchy penmanship. It's like a dark brown writing. And it looks like it was written by someone who you know as Area Terraster, who is like a circle of whatever druid that lives out in the forest. You don't exactly know where she lives, but you know that she is kind of a loner and likes to like hang out in a place you know as being like this rocky area of the forest, and you kind of know like where to go.
Okay. I know you didn't specify, but I would know she isn't a circle of stars, so she isn't like a fortune teller type like me, or would I not know that?
She's kind of yeah, you.
Are we
Yeah.
in the same circle or not?
Yeah, you guys are in the same circle.
Gotcha. I relay that. Maggie, can I my head has cleared. It's been a couple hours. Can I get another look at that letter?
Of course.
And then I look at the handwriting. I recognize this script. We are not neighbors. There are no room for neighbors in the forest. This is far too large. But I do recognize this script, Area Terraster. And I do not know where she lives, but I do know where she hangs out.
You also know that where she hangs out is kind of like in the middle. It's not like toward the edge of the forest. It's pretty deep in there.
And it is not in the more easily accessible areas. It is a bit deeper inside.
Are you guys going to head over to the forest, wait and see if something happens to where you're like waiting out in effect?
Wait, so we know who this is from, yeah? Do we know that we want to meet them at a certain spot, or is it still just the forest?
Sylver knows where Area generally lives.
I know where she likes to hang out, and presumably that is where we are going to meet her. If it is her we are meeting.
I say, if the letter didn't tell us to meet her there, where do you think they're expecting us?
Well, true.
If the letter was addressed to all of us, she would have likely expected me to get my eyes on it. And
it wasn't, it sort of was addressed to all of us, but also...
It is possible that she mailed it to you because you are the most accessible.
At my job?
Yes.
Because I have one. Not that you guys don't. No.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, she's not the most accessible. Like, I am pretty much always at my house. And she at least has to go between her house and work.
Well, if you want to do an insight check on why she sent it to the hospital.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Well, maybe it's probably because she doesn't know where we live, but, like, I don't know.
Can I do drunk insight from the couch?
Yeah.
15.
Insight with
I want
disadvantage
to hear what Illiawen gets on drunk insight, and then I'll tell you what I got.
Insight with disadvantage for Illiawen?
Well, it doesn't matter what I roll because I just rolled a nat 1. So. Oh no.
What does Illy think? What does Illy think? Do share.
Illy is like, this woman sent this to Maggie because Maggie is the hottest one of all of us. She's so fucking tall.
And what does Maggie think with her 25?
You work in a public space.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Got it. Sounds good.
That tracks.
It's because you're so tall and hot, but mainly tall. You're so easy to spot. That's what I think.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your input. What I'm here for. Because I work in a public place where they could give it to someone and not directly to me. So,
Fenrith, what are you thinking about in this moment?
I think I'm mostly just so tired, and I just really want to get to wherever we're going. And but also when Illiawen like says something about how tall Margaret is, I'm kind of like looking at Margaret and I'm like, yeah, she is really tall. Nice.
Nice.
I love Fenrith so much. Fenrith is a lesbian of not many words, but also in so many words.
Fenrith never says anything, so I'm always like, Fenrith, what are you up to? Carl's like, the strong and silent type.
Fenrith the Unfallen, I care you.
I care you. Okay, so are you guys going through the forest, is what I'm hearing?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll lead the way. And I know this forest.
You have been here before, and you deal kind of around.
Wait. Before we leave, sorry. Can I, as we're like leaving, I assume that Illy has to be one of the last ones to leave the apartment because she has to lock up. As we are doing that, I turn to her and I cast Lesser Restoration to, cure her drunkenness.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it. I grab her face kind of, and I glare at her and I kind of say, sober up. Then I magic her.
Amazing.
I just kind of it looks like I'm for once I'm searching for something to say, and I just go, are you doing anything after this?
Amazing.
Oh my god.
Karlotta pats your cheek a little bit. And she goes, hopefully I'll be spending time with my children, which is what I think you should be looking forward to as well. And then she turns around.
Screaming. Amazing.
Now Maggie is looking at Karlotta also.
I start crying again.
I feel bad.
This is someone who feels like she's a massive failure for losing her sister's kid. And is self-medicating. And you just shamed the hell out of her.
Somebody whose entire world insecurity is about children not properly being taken care of. So I think we're going to have some conflicting idealism here.
That's 100% valid. I'm crying as we walk.
Amazing.
I'm rubbing circles on Illy's back.
You guys head over, and you're now at the edge of the Aurora Grove forest. How's everyone feeling as you kind of are being led by Sylver, who is this eccentric, you just found out she deals drugs, barefoot.
Not wearing shoes, walking.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical.
I have nothing but love for a Sylver who got me drunk at the last PTA meeting and has comforted me while I cry about my sister's kids, even though Sylver is a full foot shorter than I am. I love that she's leading everybody when she's at least a foot shorter than everyone.
Everyone is above 5 feet. Sylver is 4'11".
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Short King Mama A.
I probably couldn't suck a titty while I'm standing up.
I hate it here.
Stop.
Jesus Christ.
Awful.
You are a nightmare.
As we're walking, I'm on fantasy Facebook trying to find Finn's water genasi girlfriend.
Give me an investigation check.
Yes. Don't fucking fail me now. Oh, that's a 22.
You find her. Give me just a moment.
Oh, so mad at your soul.
I was gonna start singing the song, and then I remembered everyone else was like almost 6 feet tall.
You find her, and you are like scrolling through Finn's Facebook, but on your dad's Facebook account because you have him blocked on your Facebook account.
This is so funny.
But your dad and he are still friends because your dad doesn't really know how to use Facebook. We'll call it Fangbook.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
F-A-N-G, Fangbook. And you are like kind of scrolling through these pictures, and you find a picture of Finn and this very pretty water genasi woman. She's, it's that basic pose where like arms around waist, her hand on his chest, and you notice a ring on her finger.
Oh jeez.
She is tagged in the photo though, and her name is Adela Brizo. I'll put it in the chat.
I'm writing that down furiously.
This is Finn. Oh, fuck Finn. Fuck him.
You can scroll through her page if you would like.
While Eliza was reacting to the flashback, it was just so all of us fuck Finn. Madison said fuck gay people. This is so much.
As a gay person.
Yeah, put it in the chat so I can put it in my notes.
Yeah. Adela BBG. Okay. Oh, that's such a... I didn't think that was how her last name was spelled, but that's interesting. Okay. Interesting.
It's Greek. If you care.
I don't know. I kind of do.
Great. And Adela is one of Ariel's sister's names. But anyway.
I would like to scroll through her page just while we're walking. Like, I could have been doing it earlier, too.
Yeah, great. Her name's Adela Brizo. She is kind of, like, she's more humanoid than most Genazis. She's kind of got, like, she almost looks like a trident. Or, like, you could get the vibe that maybe her dad was a trident and her mom was a genie or something like that. She has the fishy fin ears and webbed fingers and hands. Webbed fingers and whatever. She's, like, got this light blue skin. She looks kind of like you, but her hair is a lot longer. She's kind of got, like, a more, flat nose than you do. I mean, she's a water genasi. She's pretty. You look at her page and notice that the year you guys got a divorce, she graduated the year before you guys got a divorce.
Holy shit.
What an asshole.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Someone save her. It's been a teacher?
A literal teenager.
You guys got a divorce a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, it was probably like 4 or 5, something like not that long ago.
Great. So your father isn't friends with her on Facebook. So the pictures you're seeing are like the public ones. So like birthday celebrations, you see her and Finn celebrating her like 21st birthday together. She's like 24 now, but or like 22 or something like that. But
I hate this man.
He's
oh my god, he'd been cheating on her
30.
Yeah.
Maddie, how old's Eliza?
Like 35.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're in their
30s.
She's like 24. She graduated like a few years before you guys got a divorce, but not that long. Like, it wasn't creepy or anything.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't sleeping with a minor or anything like that. But, I mean, she's a lot younger than him.
She was like 9. Yeah.
Like, they started dating.
This bitch literally was like, it's totally the opposite, like a water genasi and 11 years younger than me, but also looks like me.
Yeah. That's pretty fun. She's got kind of like fishy, bigger eyes and stuff like that, but Adela Brizo. There you go.
I'm looking away. I do not see it. I'm taping my third eye.
I do see it, and it makes me mad.
Does anyone else want to do anything before?
As it becomes 9, Sylver would like to cast Augury. Wheel or woe, give it to me. Give it to me straight. I pull out my star map as I'm still rubbing circles into Illy's bag with one hand. I like very clumsily pull out my star map.
You get woe and wheel. So
bad results, then good results. Okay.
Yeah, that's just about what I thought. Maybe.
You guys get to the edge of the forest. It's kind of misty. It's not a scary forest, but you know that there are animals and creatures that run amok. Because even though there are druids living there, druids care about the animals and stuff. They kind of don't want to mess with them. They almost live in the hills and stuff. They almost burrow like hobbits.
Oh, that's really cool.
But you guys enter the forest, and it's getting kind of dark. It's the start of June, so about 9 o'clock is when the sun starts to set here. The forest is a little mistier. You can hear animals starting to awaken. Are you guys trying to stealth or just walking?
Yeah, I'll stealth. Yeah, I'll cast Pass Without Trace. I'll cast Pass Without Trace on all of us.
Great.
Good.
Yeah.
Plus
I
10
think-
stealth, gang.
As we're approaching this area, I'm gonna use my magic item. I feel like no one's looking. I definitely just because my magic item's a wine bottle, so when I feel like someone's looking, I just pull a flask out of my pocket and just drink from it really quickly and then put it back.
Great.
And hope no one saw.
Can I make a perception? Wait, actually, I'm rubbing her back and I say nothing.
So on the stealth front, I rolled a 1 and a 3.
I have disadvantage on stealth, and I rolled a 17 and a 19, so that's pretty good.
Oh.
Well, not all of us are that much. Right.
Oh, damn. I got a, well, with the plus 10,
Oh, 20.
I got a 16.
Oh, mine is so high. I got a 19, plus 10, 29.
And we
Plus
have
stealth, I got a 32.
Mine is 28 with pass without the trace. I'm holding my scale mail in place.
I got a 23.
I got 29.
There's 5 of you. Did more than 3 of you get above a 20? Or 3
above
or more?
A 20?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Great.
Maggie did not.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I did, because it's plus, I forgot with my magic item, my dex is higher, so I got a 21.
Great.
I got a 31. Sorry, plus the 10.
Wow. We some dexterous moms.
Yeah, I got a nat 1, which came out to a 12.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Great. You guys are walking through. If anyone wants to do a perception check for the group, just one person.
Who has good perception?
I have a plus 5.
Mm-hmm.
I have a plus 1, so not me.
I have a plus 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brooke plus 7 should do it.
15 plus 7, 23.
Great. You notice some eyes coming from behind a few trees. You said a 27?
23.
23. Great. There are a couple of bears coming out tonight.
Bears?
And they do not look happy.
Can I roll some animal handling?
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage, I mean, you only live once.
Can I give a help action so it's just a straight roll?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. I have +4 to animal handling. That's a 6.
Oh no.
Roll the 2.
Great. Give me 1 second.
Oh
no.
Y'all were really on it tonight.
Sometimes you roll bad, and that's okay.
So describe what you do on this 4. Or 6,
Okay,
sorry.
it was a 6. I rolled a nat 2, and I got an unnat 6.
Nice.
A
dirty 6.
An unnat. Stop saying it like that.
It's a dirty 6.
An unnat 6. Okay, so I guess what ends up happening is I act like it's Ivy. Like, I'm like, okay, it's okay, darling, it's fine. And I put both of my hands out in front of me.
This bear...
To try to coax it into not being upset.
Great. This bear goes to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a natural 18.
Oh. I think this is the first time I've ever taken damage in the game.
That is freaking crazy.
From a bear attack.
And you take 7 piercing damage from this bear.
That's so much.
Biting the shit
Interesting.
out of you.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Can I get everybody to roll initiative, please?
Oh, the bear?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not so hot.
Kill the bear.
Fight bears.
Jesus Christ. Dog. I got a fucking 5. 17.
I did too. Oh my gosh. Except looking at it.
A 14.
Is it just one bear or is it multiple
There's
bears?
4 bears.
That's a lot of bears.
Great. Sylver, you were first to act. This bear just bit the shit out of you.
I'm very... Well, Karlotta's right. We shouldn't waste things on it. So I guess this bear is all up in my grill.
Mm-hmm.
So I will cast Primal Savagery on myself. My long pink nails extend a few inches longer until they're the shape of claws, and I'm going to try to scratch the shit out of this bear.
Scratch the bear?
Scratch the shit out of this bear. Does a 11 plus 7, 18 hit?
Yes.
Beautiful. Where's the D10s? D10, where art thou? Okay. That's 6, and that's 6. 12 acid damage. And as a bonus action, I will cast a healing spirit so that I can regain my 7 HP. And it's just here in the area that we are in. Yes. So that happens, and when anyone starts their turn within this area, they can roll a d6 of HP.
Temp HP?
No, it's healing.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
How far out from it is your... do you know what I meant? How far from you is it?
10 to 15 feet away from the group. Sylver is like 5 feet away from the first bear.
Okay, how big is Sylver's thing?
It has a range of... It's a 5-foot cube.
Okay.
But I can cast it anywhere within, 30 feet. So I'll put it, I'll put it around myself because I got hurt. But I can move it and stuff later. Can I roll the healing now, or should I wait till my next turn?
Wait for your next turn.
Cool.
That's gonna be Margaret's turn?
Yes, it is. I would like to just, sort of roll an insight and see what's the deal with these bears.
Great.
What are they up to? That is, 17?
17. These are bears. I mean, they're, people. They're like these brown bears. They're like known to be kind of aggressive creatures. And they aren't really used to people walking through the forest just randomly. They like smelled you guys come in. You're not like normal druidy type people mostly. And I mean they look kind of hungry.
Interesting. I think I'd like to spend my action to use thaumaturgy. To sort of like basically almost give me an advantage on intimidation. I just want to scare these bears away. And my thing with thaumaturgy was I was gonna make myself seem a little extra scary, maybe like a little bit of thunder, sort of freak them out a bit. And I can do like intimidation or animal handling, either. But I don't want to hurt these bears.
Yeah, do intimidation.
God, that's so funny. I'm the druid. I had zero issue with it.
17 again.
Great movie.
Oh, advantage. Let me see things. Well, can I get advantage from that or?
Yeah.
That is worse. So 17.
What did you roll?
17. Again.
Great.
Different modifier, but you know.
Yeah, you freak this bear out.
Make some thunder. Maybe.
They all kind of back off a little bit, not wanting to deal with whatever spooky shit you just did. Do you want to do anything else on your turn? It looks like these bears are gonna kind of turn away.
No, I'm good. That was my action.
Great. It's Fenrith's turn. These bears look like on their turn they're gonna probably dip.
Then I'll also be like, guys, let's not hurt bears. Yeah, leave them be. Thoughts?
No thoughts, only anger.
Sorry, I did not realize I was muted. Are we still in combat?
Technically, if you want to make a perception check to see if you can see any other types of like animals kind of coming out of the woodworks.
That's 19.
You see a couple of wolves, like wolfy figures coming out as well.
Oh dear.
Wolfy figures.
How far away are the wolfy figures?
Like 20-ish feet.
I don't want to hurt them if I don't have to, so I think I like kind of waving my giant hammer around and trying to like make noise to try and intimidate them and get them to go away.
Great. Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Okay. That's non-nat 20.
A dirty 20?
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
I got a
Real dirty 20.
The wolves rolled a nat 1 on their insight check.
Oh no.
Do you do anything else on your turn?
I don't think so.
Great. It is now the wolves' turn, and they are fucking booking it the other way. They're freaked the fuck out. Great. It'd be Illiawen's turn, and then the bears are gonna turn around. So if Illiawen wants to do anything,
I stick my tongue out at the bears.
great.
I love you, everyone. Thank you. I love you too.
And then the bears go, and they start to leave you guys alone as well. If you guys want to keep going.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Sweet. That was it? Okay.
I calm down. What I would like to do is...
I rub circles in Sylver's back now.
So, we are trying to stealth through the forest, right? Or does that not matter, do we think?
I mean, you have Pass Without a Trace on us. I say, why not?
Because something I was considering is, I didn't realize this because I was very upset when I got attacked. It's been very easy to get angry these days without the Ivy here. I do have Druidcraft. I can like make a light a torch so that we have fire to scare away animals, but that would likely compromise our stealth.
Yeah, I mean, we could use it as an action if we encounter any more animals, so we could still stealth.
I mean, I say I am very good at scaring things away.
Yeah, I literally have fear spell, so I could have used it.
Don't use a spell slot. Don't do what I did.
I think we can just hope we can make it the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say stealth the rest of the way, but the Druidcraft is a good idea if we encounter anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I am fire.
That's also
So,
true.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
That's sure. You also have Produce Flame.
I do, yeah.
Genasi.
All great things for if we run into someone.
So do we need to re-roll stealth, or can we keep the same one as earlier?
I was going to have you do another stealth check at the end of that.
Sounds good.
Do we have Pass Without a Trace up still?
Yeah, less an hour.
Yeah, less than an hour.
Okay.
That is a 27.
This one's not as good as a 21.
I got a 27.
27, 27, 21.
Jesus Christ.
I just rolled a 1 and a 3 again.
You guys pass.
I also rolled a 3.
Great.
Plus your Pass Without a Trace.
13.
Yeah, plus my Pass Without a Trace, I got a 14. Plus my Dex and Pass Without Trace.
I put my hand on Maggie's shoulder and I'm like, you could be a little more light-footed. Maggie, why?
Oh no.
So I think that Maggie, I think that your disadvantage to stealth could be interpreted as like you're just so tall that it's like so hard to miss.
Yeah.
Yep. What's Karlotta's excuse? Doesn't she also have?
I am very heavily armored at all times.
Oh, yeah.
She just always wears armor.
It's as if it sounds like she wears a lot of heavy jewelry, like it's just jingle, 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 but it's just her armor.
Exactly.
Literally, it's the year of 2020. No one wears armor anymore, and yet Karlotta still has a full breastplate on.
This is true. Well, it's actually ringmail, but same, heavily armored stuff.
Get him, Karlotta. Okay.
Well,
I don't need to know what armor is. I'm just dexterous.
I hate that.
Armor is my hobby.
I'm wearing hide, so we could interpret that as leather's just that Sylver's just wearing a leather dress. She isn't. I refuse.
A faux leather dress.
I'm wearing a cardigan.
That's why your AC is so low.
I think my turtleneck should count as light armor, but whatever.
Eliza puts on her cardigan every morning and says, "This will keep me safe."
I do.
Emotionally.
That's why I keep my hair short so that it doesn't burn all of my clothing.
Alrighty. You guys head further into the forest, not expecting to see any other animals. You do have a fire Genasi with you.
Shut up!
Who is casting light onto everyone else.
I said this is a bit last time. Can I use Druid card to put Eliza's her hair out?
Yes.
Amazing.
Eliza just goes bald for a couple minutes.
I will go bald.
No.
Can I just be like,
Can my hair just like stop floating? Like, because it doesn't float like high, but it like you kind of levitates. Can it just go like super, almost like it's wet? Like it just sticks to my face and goes all the way down.
Yeah. So how I interpret Druidcraft putting out your hair is water being put on your hair. So your hair is effectively wet now.
Can I do that with
Yeah,
you?
it loses like the fire color and it just like falls down all wet. This is fine.
This is
It's
fun.
so funny.
And I don't even have actual disadvantage on stealth. I just roll so horribly.
Your dex is bad.
Is
Yeah,
Elwyn?
and I rolled a 3 and a 4 when we rolled stealth.
I think Elwyn is just doing unnecessary acrobatic jumps from the trees.
I hate it.
Sylver supports this so much.
I hate it here.
I love it here.
You guys are continuing to walk through the forest, and the ground is starting to get a bit rockier. Before it was like covered with pine needles, and it was pretty soft, and the ground is starting to get harder. You know that you're going the right direction. You've also noticed a couple of puddles here and there. Just like puddles, yes. And it was raining yesterday, but these puddles are kind of greenish. They're not like regular. They don't look like rain puddles, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Can I inspect the puddle?
You can make a nature check if you'd like.
I'll do
Can
that.
I
really
look
don't
at
want to
it?
do that. I would also.
Can I make a nature check?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I help Sylver make a nature check?
Oh.
Instead.
Sure.
Okay.
I would love that.
Fuck! I got a 4, so I got an 8.
I got a nat 20.
Oh,
Yay!
I got a 15. Not as
Wait,
good as a 20.
Can everybody do this?
Yeah, if you guys want to make nature checks on these puddles, be my guest.
Ooh, 11, because I have a -1.
I don't know why everyone's spending so much time on this puddle.
Because she described it as suspicious. Or, like, not suspicious.
Yeah.
But it's not water, it's greenish.
I heard a
It's
nat
just
20.
green.
Who got the nat 20?
Yeah,
Fenrith.
that was me, Fenrith.
Fenrith.
Nat 20 I rolled this campaign, and it's on something that probably doesn't matter.
I'm so proud of Fenrith.
Fenrith, you haven't really been in the forest. You kind of just bake and hang out with your kids and stuff. But you know a couple of tridents, like water people, whatever, lizard folk. You haven't talked to Eliza about any of this.
Oh my god.
But as you're looking at this puddle,
I am punching the air.
but as you're
I
looking,
knew this was going to happen as soon as you said there were puddles in the ground.
as you look at
I
this
did too.
puddle more, it looks like it's from like maybe a water genasi, maybe a water elemental. But these are this something sentient dropped these puddles.
Yeah, I think I like something.
Did you hear Maggie frantically typing?
What do you say?
I think that I relay that information, and I'm like, Jenny, do you know anything about like a water elemental or genasi or anything?
I slowly pull
I
my
doubt it's
phone
me,
out of my
no.
pocket and I open it up to Facebook.
Fangbook.
Fangbook.
Madison.
And I assume it's still on the profile.
Madison, do I know if there are any water genasi druids that live in the forest?
Give me a charisma based check.
Okay, all of my charisma is just +1. Cool. 11.
You don't really remember knowing any water genasi, or at least they haven't bought from you. And you especially know that most druids here are gnomish, dwarvish, maybe, but most of them are smaller people or wood elves.
Cool.
have I slept with any water genasies recently that I would be able to put 2 and 2 together?
Roll a d20 and you want a high number.
If this is what you get a high number on, I'm gonna lose it.
I got an 18.
Oh my god.
You remember a couple water genasies, actually.
This is insane.
Do you remember a woman with longer hair, Adina, Adeena, who wasn't a druid, but she said she lived near the forest? And you remember a woman named Serena, Syrena, who was a druid. And with an 18 in the back of your mind, you remember this very pretty water genasi. She had like longish hair, bigger-ish eyes, but you don't really remember her name.
I like look at the puddle. I like kind of look at everyone else, and I'm like, you know, I have fond memories of water genasies.
I hold up my phone and
terrible.
It's fully on Adele's Facebook stone. I'm like, do you know this one?
No.
Do you know this one?
Yes,
I
you do.
I do? Oh my god, oh no. At first I'm like, no, I don't. And then you ask again, and I'm like, wait, actually, go back to that last picture.
I scrolled back to that last picture.
You remember seeing this girl in a club with some fancy-looking older dude.
Oh my god.
And you remember them asking if you wanted to join.
Oh my god. I'm like, I remember her. She's dating some dude, some like weird dude. She honestly was a little young for him.
Illiawen, can I get an intelligence check?
Yeah.
Great.
That's a 10.
I got a 10.
You remember seeing Finn yesterday or the other night? You put the pieces together very slowly that this is the ex-husband. Or that
I kind of like stare off into the distance, and I'm like, oh my god, that the older gentleman she was with, that was your ex-husband. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Yeah, I think I wanted to join them. I said no because men aren't my type, but the girl was cute. I would have gone home with her.
Good to know.
She's like one of 3 genasies that I've been with, so it's really, 3 recently. Anyway, there's one that lives nearby the forest. It could be her. And I also there was another one, her name was Serena, I think. She was a druid. This also could be her, but I don't know. I'm a very busy woman.
I see.
Eliza gets mad enough that her fire hair reunites.
Yeah, my fire hair is
100%. It's like Hades from the Disney movie.
Oh my god, amazing.
Eliza just erupts into flames.
That is so
yeah, but I'm
valid of her.
like smiling, like really, but in the way where I'm just like I'm holding it all back.
You're like,
my
here's
hair.
in our friends.
You know,
this is fine.
Yeah, I'm just like
You know, he was unnecessarily handsy, and especially I didn't like him very much.
Yeah, you're right. I don't like him either.
And he was in a club and was like one of the oldest people there. Honestly, it was a little weird.
You're like 300.
I would just say. I don't look a day over 200. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
Amazing. Are you guys gonna keep going?
Yeah.
Can I get a group survival check?
I think we should just fixate on this conversation for a bit.
Survival check. Oh, do you want us to type this or just say it?
You can. You might want to say it.
Okay,
I got a 6.
I got a 21 survival.
Fuck! I got a 4.
Good.
I'm looking for 3, 15, or up.
Rolled a 3, and I got a 4.
Me and Eliza are too busy discussing the incident at the club.
I see a 21, a 16. Did anyone else get above a 15?
No,
Oh, dear.
I got a 14.
Oh, no.
You kind of know where you're going. The group is kind of getting a little sidetracked.
Just a little. We're getting distracted.
Very important.
We're getting distracted by the gossip.
Yes.
That would be PG.
But you kind of like end up at the Rock hangout on accident. There isn't anybody really there except for a few like water genazis, but you don't really recognize them. But other than that, like you don't see area.
Okay, Madison.
Yes.
Do these water genazis look like the type of genazis we saw at the train station last time?
Give me a perception or an insight check.
Wonderful. That is a 15 plus 7, 23?
Yeah, baby.
They do not. They look like
22.
regular water genasi.
We're like sneaked, kind of.
Yeah,
Are we like sneaked?
Oh
Do you
yeah, if
still
you
have
guys want to roll
concentration?
stealth,
If I get another fucking number under 5, I'm going to lose.
I got a 13 this time.
plus 10.
With pass without a trace?
God.
Yes, I rolled an 8 and a 2.
I got 24 stealth.
I got a 31.
Hello, everyone. I find my third nat 1 for stealth.
Did more than...
I finally rolled something good.
Did we get 3 with above a 15?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys are hidden. What kind of check did you do for these Genasi?
I did a perception.
Great. You also kind of like start to notice other not other people, but like shadows around. What did you get on your perception check?
I got a 22.
Great, a 22. You guys continue on into this like rocky area. Everybody roll perception again, just for shits and giggles.
Ooh, even better.
Fuck.
25.
Oh, that's way better than I did.
14.
17.
6.
25.
Great. Anybody above a 20, you notice some people in the trees. They look elven. They look like they are watching out. And that is where we're going to leave off this session in this episode of Moms on a Mission, a D&D campaign. Thank you all for watching or listening. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think we're making this an actual podcast at this point, so you can subscribe to that. And follow us on Twitter at Moms Vodcast. That's MOMVODCAST on Twitter. Thank you all so much. Goodbye.